Oh no!
No, it's the Marvel Studios one. Is it that one? You muppet. Okay. Well, I mean, we are live at this point. So hello there, interwebs, and welcome to a glass of something bubbly. And yeah, I was actually going to start with a Viking hat on and basically do the whole thing.
But I took it away from him.
Yeah, we are still slightly hungover from our various misadventures. Hope you had a fantastic Comic-Con. It has been, I think it's safe to say, one of the absolutely epic ones. Andrew English is watching from London. Hello there. Welcome along. We are joined by a number of our loyal viewers for the Talkin Comic-Con podcast who happen to be still in town. So we will be asking you to jump in, and while they may not necessarily be on camera, we will kind of get their opinions of the last 4 days. Like I say, it's been one of the most epic of certainly from what I mean, this is year 7, so for myself, so I'm very much a relative newcomer to this. But I think we were talking to a number of people that certainly from around 2008, 2009, the scale of San Diego Comic-Con has just absolutely exploded. And this year, they just absolutely topped themselves. It was just an epic one from top to bottom. We'll start with just to introduce certainly the people that you can kind of definitely see, and we'll shout out your names and whatever. We have Alyssa, my regular partner in crime, who's still in town. How are you doing, Alyssa?
I'm well, exhausted, rather tired. The highlights of the entire weekend.
Oh, you're jumping straight into it? Really?
Oh no. Okay. We'll put the notes away. Exhausted. Yeah. I think is the word. But SDCC worked, and my legs do not hurt. I am tired, but I'm not on Advil 24/7.
Whereas I am
mixing with bubbly.
Mixing with bubbly as it happens. No, I came, as if you saw the hangout last week. I came straight from Star Wars Celebration, which I did do a little bit of damage to my foot, which meant I was experiencing Comic-Con from a slightly different angle. Certainly for the beginning of it, I did do a little bit of the ADA thing, so I saw it from that side of the equation as well. Yes, if we want to very quickly go shout out, like I say, I'll try and move the camera as we can, but introduce yourself and let
Jason Coe, Corey Commander.
My name's Phaedra Cook. I'm a food editor for the Houston Press, and I also write about pop culture.
Chuck Cook, Bit Spitter. I take lots of pictures of people in cool costumes.
Let's go this way.
Good morning, Samantha Maybe over here. I was on the show a couple weeks ago talking about the schedules, and now I'm here drinking champagne. So.
Hi, I'm John Clark. I'm from England, a friend of Leonard's, and I'm exhausted. Also drinking champagne.
It's nice to have the 1 or 2 randoms on board, isn't it? So, great to have that. In the back.
Hi, Gina here, Sultana, and I am also here in some mimosa.
Oh, very nice.
Awesome.
I'm Bree Stewart. I'm one of the randoms.
I'm Patricia here with Brazen Women, and that's Mama.
Hello, I'm the Mrs. I'm Caroline. I'm just here for the alcohol.
On one of the very rare occasions, she will show her face on one of the hangouts.
I'm going to duck down so you can see them.
Swag collector, just a Comic-Con fan.
Excellent stuff. So there we go. That's who we have on board this fantastic vessel that we have been given space here at on the Bayfront, Bayside here in San Diego. And we are going to talk about our highlights. But I'll tell you what, then, Alyssa, we'll let you open up that notepad.
Oh no!
Are you going to wing? You going to try and wing this as well? Okay.
Well, I could talk just to the single highlight for me, and unlike single highlight, unlike other cons, there is only one, and it has to be the Star Trek premiere on Wednesday night, which was spectacular.
Who went to that? So we have one of the lucky
I tried
few.
and failed.
Yeah, it's got to be said, it was slight bedlam trying to get those tickets. It was certainly a hard slog for those people that were trying to get them. But those that did, I mean, I saw some of it from the one of the balcony area of the convention center, looking down. They did really go all out. This was a massive production on the case of Paramount. I understand it was quite an emotional moment as well when they did a minute's silence for Anson Yelchin as well. So that, I can imagine, was quite a spine-chilling moment. The film itself in presentation, what was it like to actually have an outdoor screening of a film? I mean, did it hold up?
You can tell it was outside. It was
Really?
It was done so well.
Well, that's certainly down to when you have an IMAX projector pumping out that much light. It certainly would.
You know, when the fireworks started.
And then you have a fireworks display to start with as well. We actually were. I mean, I'd gone to the UK meetup that at the time, and we were actually informed that that was actually the fireworks for the ConX by Entertainment Weekly, and they'd accidentally timed it halfway through the screening. So we were kind of misinformed. That would have been an absolute nightmare, but it was actually a fireworks display for the premiere. You went along, and as a massive Star Trek fan, I mean,
I got third row seats. I am proud
Wow.
to say. Yes.
look at this VIP here.
Well, I snaked my way down front, I will admit. They had a seated way in the back and a couple of seats opened up down front. So I was able to be in a single.
They would get all those.
Well, I kinda, I've had some experience getting seats. So I went in. But it was spectacular. It was spectacular. I really enjoyed the entire show. What was the question again?
Basically, the highlights. I mean, we're starting with a Thursday, I suppose.
More
I mean,
champagne.
well, yeah, more
Yeah.
champagne.
Yeah,
She's
more
on coffee at this time.
coffee.
It's
I'm still on
ridiculous.
coffee.
And an party.
So we'll start with the preview night then. I mean,
I do. Yeah, I do have to say that the sound. While you liked the screen, and I found the sound system to be spectacular. I was during the entire film. I wanted to, kind of crank it up just a little bit more, and just to get that really bass resonance going. But the system was really nice, and it made me want to buy a better sound system for my house.
well, out in the garden, if you want to really recreate the outside projection
And
thing.
the symphony was there, right?
Yes, the symphony was there playing the music.
They played the entire score, yeah, because
it was a live score.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't too sure. That hadn't been actually clarified. This was my first touch with celebrity over the course of the con. First thing on the Thursday morning, on Wednesday morning. So I have no idea. Is it a full thing at the beginning? Is it throughout the film? We'd have to ask Michael Giacchino. At which point Michael Giacchino tweets me back going, "Yep, it's all the way through." And I'm going, "Well, I think you just heard it from the horse's mouth there. Not a problem at all."
There was one exception, and that was the Beastie Boys.
Oh, well, okay. You know what? I would have loved to have heard the San Diego Symphony Orchestra doing the Beastie Boys. That would have been something else. Excellent. Okay, so that was preview night. And what was your experience in terms of the lining up for preview night? Because obviously you all had your badges mailed out to you. There's obviously one or two exceptions. For myself, for the international element, they were announcing that they were going to be handing out the wristbands from 3 o'clock, or opening up, sorry, not handing out the wristbands, distributing the badges at the expansion from 3 o'clock. And as it happened, they opened up the door 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there was
12 o'clock. I was
all that stressing and all that kind of worrying that we were going to have. It really was kind of smooth sailing. It was a case of get the badge and let's just get into it. In terms of RFID then, which was really the first time we kind of experienced it, was any hiccups from anyone in there?
There was one point, because I was doing photography on the outside mezzanine, I had to go in and out behind Ballroom 20 a few times, and there were a couple of points where it was just like, not all of the guards in the back agreed on whether or not you were going to tap out when you went onto the mezzanine or not. And at one point, I came back and they're like, "Well, it's not working right now." I'm like, "Well, the system thinks I'm inside, so I'm okay."
Yeah.
But I didn't know whether that was going to be an interesting situation.
Fair enough.
That was the only thing that got me. Certain gates, certain doors, they were like, "Oh no, you don't tap out. No, you don't tap out. No, you don't."
There wasn't a
tap
sense
out.
of consistency to it.
Hall H most noticeably, because
No, the whole H I tapped into. They asked me to tap in, but like.
But then they didn't ask you to tap
They
out.
told me not to tap in, or not to tap out, and I was like, "Okay, what's the point in having these things if you're not going to make us tap in and out? Because that's the whole point. We tap in, we tap out."
I think the sense of consistency could have been applied, but I think with so many entrances and exits, it's very difficult to get that kind of level of consistency.
Sales,
But no, I appreciate that.
Sales, literally, they changed the doors that you go in and out like every couple of
Yeah.
hours. Like
Yeah.
I would leave one and then try to come back in. What was the entrance? Sorry, sir, you can't. Where did you put it now?
This is to keep
That's
you on
what
your
happened
toes.
to me when his panel was on. I was trying to get to Leonard's panel on time.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a bit. We will talk about that in a bit. But yeah.
But literally, I went through, and I had ADA on my badge, and I tried to go through the one door on sales, and he turned around and said, "No, I'm not allowed to let you through. You've got to go all the way to the other side of sales to go through that door." So I walked all the way to the other side of sales. But no, you've got to go to the middle door. I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me? Just let me through a freaking door. You've got a door there. It opens. Let me go through.
This is what happens when you upset a Welsh woman, by the way. Things do get very temperamental.
I asked him, where do I have to go? Because I didn't know where his room was. So I asked them, right, how do I get to that room, 29AB?
It was.
And I was like, and they went, oh, you've got to go down, you've got to go through those doors, down the escalator, all the way along, and then up the other escalators. No, you don't. He sent me all the way around the bloody building before I got to his room. It was like a 2-second walk from where I originally was.
That was actually an interactive fan event from Leonard.
What actually happened was Alyssa rang ahead and she was implementing the SDCC fit on a convention center level. So yes, but all in all, the RFID thumbs up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was brought up at the talkback yesterday, and the general consensus was across the board. It was something that obviously they had introduced at WonderCon, and they pretty much got all the. I think the concern was that it was at this amount of people, whether it was going to be an issue, and it all fell into place. It all kind of worked.
It seemed to work. There were a couple of hiccups that I'd heard about.
Certainly on day one, but I think that was more the actual scanners.
Yeah.
And I think they got that sorted relatively.
I mean, it was minor.
Cool.
They were able to solve the problems. I was ID checked once. Was anybody else ID checked?
No,
just you.
Apart from looking at my badge. Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's if there's one. I actually thought about this not yesterday, the day before, and I thought it was. If there's one negative to the RFID, because at the end of the day, you're having to tap your badge against the scanner, which means security is not actually able to see your name. They're not actually to kind of make that security leap, because usually it's a case of, okay, David, whatever, you have boobs. You've clearly bought this badge from somebody else. How's that work? So there was usually that level of security. But no, well, I think the RFID was a success in that regard.
It was a good idea. Like, you guys possibly wouldn't have got it, but when we picked up our badges, as you left the badge pickup room,
they just
test
it with a tapper. Yeah,
which is a good idea, because one of the guys in my party had a problem and just went straight to the desk.
Yeah, I think someone
mentioned the badge
mentioned.
and he went.
Yeah, someone mentioned that they could have had that on the Tuesday. They could have had that on the Tuesday just to test.
Yeah, was it Babs who had to get her son's
I think so.
re-registered because she was one of the ones that had it sent out to them. And her son's badge, they had an email saying, right, something went wrong with your badge registration. You've got to come to pickup to get it rectified. Otherwise, they won't be able to get in and out of the building at all. So she had to do that on Wednesday.
Fair enough.
But I think those were the only little hiccups that I'd ever heard of.
And considering it's only the first year they've implemented it,
Sure.
I
think it went very,
They
very
were remarkably
yeah.
smoothly.
Yes.
Did you see all the booths that they had, like along the front?
Oh, no.
They had loads to try and fix it.
So that's actually getting in. Thoughts on the exhibition? Did everyone do the exhibition floor? Did anyone manage to get time down there and check it all out? I was stunned by the level of production, to be honest. I think everyone just raised their game. So Fox, their booth looked incredible. Well, all of the booths looked pretty incredible, I thought. For everyone who turns around and says that Comic-Con, that people are kind of dialing back on their sort of interaction with the convention, I think everyone just kind of raised the game.
It did seem that way. It seemed like there was a lot of celebrity appearances. I will say that I don't think there was as many exclusives this year. Not exclusives, but freebies this year as there were last.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to trade that for the celebrities appearing at the booths and the excitement. I think an experience is better than a piece of plastic. So I was happy with the change.
Okay.
There's a lot of VR.
Hmm?
A lot of VR.
A lot of VR. Well, I mean, they've been kind of teasing that for the last couple of years now, haven't they? That the VR is going to be the next big entertainment breakthrough. Since 3D hasn't quite landed, but I mean, you kind of have it for the big films, but they're thinking VR perhaps is the next big entertainment line. I quite liked the space afforded Artie Sally. I thought that was a nice big space that they had been given. I know that we did cover this a couple of hangouts before with the interview with David Glanzer, that people were talking that there weren't as many artists. There were, all the tables were filled.
Yeah.
There were also artists in the independent press pavilion,
Sure.
which I thought was nice as well. So you had not everyone condensed. There were a few places you could go and visit and experience people's craft.
What was people's experience of the kind of like the spacing out of all of the convention? Because it was over a very large footprint this time around. I mean, they've kind of done that over the last couple of years in terms of the convention, the Comic-Con taking over San Diego rather than just the convention center. What was everyone's experience of actually getting from A to B and checking it? Sore feet. Yeah. I mean, we are taking your comments, of course.
You need to have a good pair of trainers.
Do jump in with any comments and Q&As. Violet Kruger, hello Violet from GB Reviews. Did anyone keep track of the mileage that they did anyone do the Fitbit thing?
I'm going to buy one for next year.
Next year, I think.
We all pull it up.
I did sit and try and work it out this morning, and after several hours of equations, it worked out at a lot.
A lot of walkings. Okay.
It took a few hours to work that out.
Based on the number of
7 or 8 miles a day.
7-8 miles a day.
That's about right.
Yeah. Based on the number of Pokemon eggs I had.
Oh, you're one of those. Okay, we have a Pokemon person.
Line for Mrs. Fields inside the convention.
We'll certainly talk about that.
Here.
Wow. Okay. So that's preview night and certainly the initial impressions. Let's actually get into the con itself then. So first day one, Thursday. What was your take on it? What
Exclusives.
Oh, okay.
Exclusives, absolutely. I liked how the Funko line worked for the wristbanding upstairs. It took it off of the main floor. Didn't like the results I got, but that's personal. Moving on. I thought that the way that they handled the ticketing and the sales worked very well. I did hear some rumblings from a couple of friends of mine about autograph tickets and that perhaps those lines didn't work quite as well. I wasn't in it, so I can't speak to that.
Okay, did anyone go for it? Autographs? Was anyone doing any of that?
I went for the Funko line one day, and that was impossibly long. And I believe it was the Thursday, and I think the Warner and DC line was done incorrectly because I heard from several people that when you got there, it was a random draw that you couldn't pick the specific.
So it wasn't consistent about what you were actually.
No, so you could pull a winning wristband and you say one of the Silicon Valley signing, but they might give you a wristband for Grant Morrison signing on the DC booth. But I've heard they corrected it, but that was what I heard happened on the first.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
On Saturday, I actually tried for the autographs, and we stood in line. We actually waited overnight in line.
Sure.
By the time we got there, would have been maybe 1,000 people ahead of us in line. By the time we got there were like 2,000 people in the WB line.
That's line bloating.
Line bloating, which is this is something that we experienced in the Hall H line and everything else.
They do it in Hall H as well.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, we queued up on the Hall H from Thursday night at about 11 o'clock. We started queuing. And there was just a tidy sum of people in front of us. Last year we queued and we were further back than we were along this railing than what we were this year. And they turned around and it looked like one person was holding spaces for like 20 people. Because by the time we got moved under the tents, there was, as opposed to 250 in front of us, there was suddenly 1,000.
Until the wristbands go out, they really
how did you do that? Yeah, they can't police it at all. It's all self-policed.
It's very difficult.
But if you see people doing it, security have said you need to point the people out because then they can do something. Moaning about it to yourselves won't help.
Yes, I did see security acting on things a lot more than they have done in the past. Well, certainly for me,
security issue was brilliant.
Yeah, that actually,
Yeah.
well, I mean, that actually was a mixed bag at the talkback, which I had myself and Alyssa attended. One half, 50%, was saying that the security were more informed and that they were more. Well, no, it was the volunteers that weren't,
Right.
but the security kind of had a handle on things. But then there were one or two instances of a bit of rudeness, bit of inconsiderate.
Well, that other 50% perhaps just behind the parking lot on the
Possibly.
Saturday
Or
Possibly,
in the
and
parking
facing-
lot,
facing
but
all
we
sorts of-
weren't actually alive.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say I had a problem with the blizzard line.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, yeah. So I understand that was a bit of an issue.
We were right there in the front of the everything else line. My daughter and I, we were both right there when they opened up. We went to the blizzard line. Both my daughter and son wanted the Overwatch print, and security would not let us line up. They told us there was no line for blizzard, so keep walking. And we were going, this was when the con opened up, everybody was let in and they would not let us line up, and they had us walking for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then they said, here, and
Everyone just descended at once.
yeah.
Wow. So
There
it
is
didn't
no
open up.
line tag.
On the
It's in place a
exhibit
lot.
floor is a
Okay.
completely different beast.
Sure.
Let's
So
face
you
it.
can tell the moment that's going to happen, because there'll be people at surrounding booths looking really interested
Yeah.
at something you can immediately tell they're not remotely interested in, and then the second someone's hand goes
Sure.
up,
Everyone dies,
flies to the
dies.
line.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as we were discussing earlier, there's potential, according to something I heard, that there are companies saying that you can line up for an exclusive and then changing it to a raffle at the last minute, which is
Yeah.
really not cool.
That was also something that came up, and it was very much that inconsistency of the whole element of it. I didn't do too much in terms of the exclusives this year. I mean, we did go in for Funko on the preview nights, which we did reasonably well on. We did, yeah. One or two hiccups in terms of a member of staff looking at my form and neglecting to put 2 of the items in the bag, but that's yes,
He
funny.
didn't scan
To
them
be honest,
either, though,
my
so he didn't
item,
get charged.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
well,
no,
But,
they
but,
didn't get the
to be
items.
fair, to be fair, I didn't check what I was when we hit the card
Yeah.
thing. So there was 2 people not
And
really
I'm
checking.
assuming you didn't get billed for the missing item.
No,
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 we didn't.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It literally was a case of they just didn't put it in the bag, and therefore
They
didn't
can't
so.
have seen it or something.
So
I was gonna say I actually got charged twice by Hasbro.
Oh.
That's not the booth get charged twice on either.
No.
but there we go. Okay. Did you manage to see any content on the Thursday? Was it
I
all?
did.
Oh, excuse me. All it's. Oh, or was it? Excuse me. I do apologise. Or was it all just exclusive for yourself?
It was pretty much all exclusives. I actually saw very few panels at Con.
Right. In that case, that's probably where I step in then. I did manage to check out a number of panel rooms, as always. The ones upstairs in the small rooms. The variety of content this year was just absolutely mind-blowing for me. Just going down the subjects, going down what was being covered. It was just, I mean, considering, as being pointed out already, on the Thursday, out of 130 odd panels, 102 were comic related. So anyone who turns around and says that Comic-Con is no longer a comic related event clearly don't know what they're talking about there, because
They're looking in the wrong
they're
place.
looking in the wrong place. There was definitely that content there. However, I did also check out Hall H. Again, doing a wonderful job in there is Eddie Ibrahim, doing some fantastic panels and bringing Eddie. We are fans, very much so. Very much. I managed to catch the the Oliver Stone panel with bringing his new film Snowden. For a film which is very conscientious and very divisive, I think the audience was very receptive to it. Very grateful that Oliver Stone was coming for his very first Comic-Con, and it was a very good panel. Did anyone catch any of the panels on Thursday? Did anyone do anything? I've seen lots of shaking of
I'm
heads.
disappointed that I didn't do the Snowden one though,
Yeah.
because I thought that was quite a unique voice to have during Comic-Con.
Mm.
You know, the content.
Okay.
So
I don't remember what I did Thursday.
Yes, this could be rather interesting, as everyone is now kind of like trying to work out what on earth they did yesterday. But okay,
You did see a panel though, didn't you, Alyssa? You saw one referring to comics.
Right.
we're not doing this yet. Let's get to Friday.
But I mean, one thing I do have to say about the Thursday was the Lego minifig haul was absolutely horrendous. I mean, the line was down to way past Seaport Village.
Well, that's always been the case for Lego, but usually with Lego, it moves really quickly. Was that the case this year?
Not so much.
Okay.
They seemed like they used to pull them at 11:30, and now this year they started pulling them at 12:30. So you ended up spending 3 hours outside in the sun. I don't know about everybody else, but after Wednesday for Star Trek, outside in the sun, and then Thursday for a Lego ticket.
This has been a particularly hot
very
one.
yes.
It's we're kind of
And sunburns.
paying for it today. Yeah, we're kind of paying for it today because it's a little bit more overcast. And it's definitely feeling like the day after the convention. The party's definitely over.
I got to see the cast of Mr. Robot
Okay.
Thursday at the Petco event, so that was cool. But it did teach me that large-scale events requiring the use of technology on behalf of the entire audience are not.
Was that the carnival?
It was at Petco, but it was separate from Carnival.
Okay.
Two different things. It
Oh,
was
I missed
just
that
for
completely.
Mr.
Well, I'm just
Robot.
gonna
I didn't know that at all.
I didn't know about it until I think Tuesday or Wednesday. They
Wow,
posted it
okay.
on their Facebook page.
Fair enough.
So it was the same VR experience as the shop on 4th Street, but it was just in Petco, and that was the first time that they were doing it. So it was one
Fair
big
enough.
group, and the cast showed up. So that was fun.
That's always fun.
But the VR experience didn't work for me personally. unfortunately.
Okay.
But it was fun anyway.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's go around the table and talk about. We'll talk panels. Let's talk about the content that we could see. Highlights for yourself. Let's start far left over there. Unfortunately, okay, we'll start with far right, considering that they are currently nibbling at this point. So we'll start with this.
Panels had to be Hall H on Saturday. I mean, and we'll get into that in more detail.
Okay, I will agree that was a stunning panel. I actually caught a couple of the comics ones. There was a cover story one which I caught yesterday, which was very, very good, talking about the strength and power of the cover. Babs Tarr on there, Howard Chaykin on there. Very, very interesting panel indeed. Yes, I did have a panel on Friday. Let's just get this out. Thank you very much indeed. I will say it was an interesting Friday because I also attended as press this year. So I went to the Fox breakfast. So I was fed and watered on behalf of Fox, and it did actually allow me to not actually think about my panel for a couple of hours, because if I had, I think I would have been slowly but surely getting more and more nervous. But as it happens, I got down to the convention center an hour before the doors opened, and that's when my nerves kicked in. But the moment I got up onto the stage, everything just kind of started to work, apart from a couple of technical issues in terms of Skyping some of my guests in. But thankfully, the people that were on the panel, they had stuff to talk about. They were willing to talk, and it was what I am particularly satisfied about is that people that did come along to the panel that came to support me or weren't too sure what the subject was about were interested in the subject by the end. So that is all I can ask. So I personally had a great time, and yes, I'd love to do it again. It was a unique experience, and not only that, but it's just 45 to 55 minutes just focused on a topic. So I had absolutely no problem with that.
I was lucky enough to speak with one of the guests from your panel yesterday for 10-15 minutes, and he praised you very highly.
Okay, which one was that?
David Lloyd.
Whoa.
He spoke very highly of the panel and said that it was one of the most enjoyable ones he's ever done.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw
So
it.
that's David Lloyd. Yes, that's David Lloyd, the artist of V for Vendetta, blowing smoke at my art. So that's fantastic.
V for Vendetta, and well known as the most compulsive liar in the comic book industry.
Fair enough. We'll hi David.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go around. Jason, highlights for you.
Saturday Hall H.
Yeah.
I'm still getting my voice back from it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm right there with him.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk Hall H, I mean, it is always that eternal battle between the bookends, between DC, WB, and Marvel. And it was always
I
going
didn't
to
see much of a battle this
You
year,
don't?
to be honest.
Now that's the thing. There's the
That's
thing.
the thing.
I think it
Last
was
year they
close.
were,
I think it was closer than you think. I mean, I think in actual terms of the content, it was almost a dead heat because you had Wonder Woman, you had Justice League. That Justice League trailer is just incredible, and the Wonder Woman trailer. So there's definitely the equation of the content, but in terms of an actual show, and the whole argument of putting something on in Hall H, I think, well, Marvel, I don't even have to think, Marvel absolutely
To
owns
me, it was the
production
equivalent of sitting in an office PowerPoint presentation in the morning and going to P.T. Barnum's circus in the evening. It was just a totally different experience.
Wow.
And although you said it's level pegging on content, it's level pegging on content for the characters they were presenting. But I still think Marvel wiped the floor with the footage because they chose to show clips. They chose to show a completely unique
Comedy section.
Comedy section,
which you can only hope that it will show up online at some point. That was very, very.
I really hope
I've got a
somebody's
feeling you may
I'm
not see
hoping
that until
Marvel-
the Blu-ray release. Actually, I think that
Possibly,
might be
yeah.
cool.
Okay, I mean, did anyone not do Hall H on Saturday? We got so what did you get up to on Saturday?
What else is there to do?
Oh, really? I think there's lots to do, Caroline.
Genuinely,
We
several
got
things I would have done. Saturday.
stupidly lucky on Nerd HQ tickets this year,
I
and
was
we
too.
got Scott Bakula, Zachary Levi's kickoff panel that he always does at 10 a.m. on Thursdays. We got Tom Hiddleston.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he do his Velociraptor impression?
No,
He did not.
he had to cut his panel short. Unfortunately, I
They were
guess his
late.
handler, came to grab him.
Yeah, they were late starting because the panelist prior was a half an hour late.
Wasn't there also an element? I kind of heard about
Yeah.
this about Nerd HQ. There was an well, at the end of the day, the whole thing is a charity exercise. So I understand there was a very big element on the raffles, on getting money off the audience.
Yeah, it is.
Always an auction.
Because I mean, the complaint I heard, this was Nathan Fillion's panel, that it just turned into Nathan Fillion.
He always
He's always
He does that.
He's
funny along
which
with
is
it.
why I was really, because I was lucky enough to get tickets to the
Is it
Joss Whedon one
There's a
yesterday.
There's a
Bag
leather
there?
bag.
Oh.
We need to
There we
show
go.
this
Yeah,
off.
showing
Oh, we're showing stuff up.
No, Nathan always does that, but his panels are hilarious.
They are.
regardless.
I went last year.
So, like 3 years ago, he auctioned this off.
Oh, let's move the nibbles for a
Candy
second.
dish.
He auctioned
nice.
this off, and I was the lucky winner. And it's hard to see, but it's signed by him
It's still
and
signed.
Alan Tudyk here. It's like, no, he can auction off whatever he wants.
Pretty much,
Fair
yeah.
And
enough,
it's all for
fair enough.
Operation Smile.
Absolutely,
It's all for
it is a
So-
very much worthwhile cause.
But you know, one of the things I was thinking is for offsite events, people really do underestimate, myself included, how long it takes to get from the convention center to any offsite event and then work your way back over to the convention center. It's like a
It
2.5 hour proposition.
It is
sometimes.
Especially the crosswalk by the Marriott.
But I think that's just down to. I think that is also down to the actual spacing out now of the convention. I think that's what I was alluding to earlier. Nerd HQ, was it a success in terms of the layout? Because we'll talk very quickly about the offsites then. So the actual layout of what they do, was it? Because this was my first time doing Nerd HQ. Was that was it a similar layout to how they had it in the past? Or?
Second year in that facility.
Sorry, I was
Yeah,
The
the
panel room
children's
was
museum.
totally different. Last year, the panel room was flat.
Flat.
Yes.
It wasn't stadium seating.
Right.
It was
Stadium
flat
seating.
this year.
Okay.
And it was cooler.
That air conditioning.
They did better with air conditioning.
They brought in a backup air conditioner.
Cool.
Yes.
Which was definitely required this year. I mean, there was a number of people complaining in the convention center that certainly on Friday it was just horrendous. But
Yeah, I was
by
there.
by late Friday, Saturday, they definitely cranked up the AC or had to.
I was there yesterday for the last panel of the day, and someone asked Jared Padalecki what's changed since he's been there from the very first year to now. And the first thing he said was, well, the AC's better. Because the message and the meaning behind it has really stayed the same. They're doing the same thing, interacting with the fans the same way, but The AC is better.
This year they actually told us how much each smile cost. It was $240 it costs the operation for each child. So every single auction they were doing, they were like, we want to give us a smile.
Yeah.
So there's an actual target involved.
We had on the Josh Whedon panel, they were trying to auction. Josh won't do auctions by the looks of it.
No.
He doesn't like doing it, so he sends someone out in the beginning, and he's like, yeah, you can sell what you want, but then I come out, we don't do that. And they were selling the gummies, the printed gummies.
I thought those were really peculiar.
They're really peculiar, but when somebody turns around and actually sells one for a smile, $240 a piece of gummy sweets.
Gummy in the shape of, Tom Hanks.
Halo.
No, it wasn't. It was a blank slate with Buffy printed on it, or Firefly printed on it, or Avengers printed on it. $240 they went for. And I was like, fair play to people that can pay that.
At the end of the day, they're not donating for the item; they're donating for the charity, which is absolutely worthwhile.
The poster went for a smile and a half.
Yeah. So so Nerd HQ was a success. There was the one hiccup.
I didn't like the photo, the smiles for smiles.
Okay.
Previous years, they waited for the people that were actually in the panel.
Yeah.
With the tickets.
Oh, to line up.
If you didn't have the ticket to say that you were just in that panel, you weren't allowed to line up until every single one of those people was seen. This year, they didn't do that.
If you're you have to pick one or the other this year.
Yeah, it was basically as long as you had the Nerd HQ wristband, you could queue up.
I'd never had that experience before. If I was at the panel, then I got priority at the picture stuff.
Yeah, but this year you
that's
didn't.
never happened. I lined up.
So that was slightly new. Okay. Right. Well,
I'm really angry.
I personally, for my first experience in Nerd HQ, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Any other experiences on the Saturday outside of Hall H? Did anyone?
I was doing press rooms.
You did press rooms,
so
okay.
Kind of tied up.
Slightly different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly different.
Well, I mean, obviously this ties into the content that was available on Saturday. What press rooms did you do?
I was doing CW Vampire originals on Saturday, and it was good. Unfortunately, timing, which is always the thing with press rooms, you don't get everybody. Which is just, that's just the nature of the beast. And,
okay. But there lots of fun talking to them. They still felt excited.
They were both press rooms. The people that we did get to
You're
talk
hiding.
to were lovely, just absolutely lovely. And it was not, you didn't have any problems with people, trying to pull teeth, trying
Fair
to get. They were all very personal.
Cool. I mean, this is my second year as press, but my first year of actually doing the press elements. And I felt it was reasonably well organized. I thought the people that I spoke to was fun, but it didn't detract away from the actual. I think the actual convention element of it for me still stands out, which makes me curious about how I'm going to approach next year. But that's just me.
The only problem I had with Saturday was that everything I wanted to see, every panel I wanted to see, was all on Saturday. It was literally I wanted to see the Hall H, obviously, which I ended up doing because that's the epic room. You can't miss it. If you get the chance to do it, you do it. But if I wasn't going to be in Hall H, there was Flash, there was Arrow, there was there was Lucifer, there was Vampire Diaries, there was Originals. All of them I would have loved to go to see because I'm a fan of every single one of those.
I think John addressed that yesterday.
He did. I was about to say.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. Go.
If we are happy to. How did he phrase it?
He basically said that we're happy to spread things out and we would love to put things on Thursday, Friday, Sunday. But at the end of the day, if the studios are wanting to put stuff on the Saturday, because that's the headline day, because it's the one that attracts the most attention. At the end of the day, we have to kind of capitulate to the studio's requirements.
But though they don't realise is the headline day is Hall H. If you're not in Hall H,
but then again, I'm going to also
get the drags of what couldn't get into Hall H.
I'm going to disagree with that. I think you're just focusing on the one room because there's so much stuff else. Indigo was strong.
Indigo was very
20 was strong.
All of them were strong on Saturday.
No,
so you
across the board. Across the board. Across the board. I'm sorry.
I I mean, I always make up a spreadsheet of my day because I'm a proper nerd and you have to do that. And it used to be that 3 years ago, maybe the last time I came, that I'd have a backup plan. But this year, my backup plan had a backup plan, which had another
that was
backup
what
plan.
I did.
And I ended up with 5 columns every day.
Oh no, I
of
didn't.
what I could be.
Yeah,
at.
but you're so. I would
I
say that you're
didn't.
so easy. You're so difficult to please. But then you married me, so I don't.
Yeah, it can't be that difficult.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Maybe she just settled.
Thank you for that.
You're really glad you let me come on the
No,
phone.
just yeah. We are going to be going very quickly through comments. We are going to be going through your Q&A. So if there's any comments, we will tackle those.
really want to see you on Friday.
So I'll tell you what, actually, we will do that now. We'll very quickly. Andrew English spent most of the weekend watching Nerd HQ streaming. I'm guessing was he not here or?
No, I don't think he was.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed Nerd
Right
HQ
on
because
it.
I did enjoy the fact they put it on.
See him anyway.
Was that streaming through the app?
It was done on Facebook Live and YouTube.
And you can
That's
go
it.
there.
Yes, as Leonard found out this morning.
Yeah, as well. Let's not even
Bearing
talk
in
about
mind,
that.
he asked a question at the Josh Whedon panel.
All right. Don't want to turn this. Okay, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about me. Barb Steiger. Hello, Barb S. How you doing? I managed to. You have friends in the room. I managed to get all my pops thanks to Funko having them at select stores as well. Yes, this was another thing that they did this year in terms of their exclusives being available at other stores around town. Let's have a look. This is Bob. Did anyone do the Tom Hiddleston Nerd HQ signing?
Oh, the signing.
Wondering how that went. Okay, we don't actually have anyone did that. So.
Going to go.
Yeah. So there you go. So Violet Kruger, hello everyone. Nice to have you joining us along. Barb, Leonard, I want a spot on this boat next year.
Yes, you did.
Cheers, everybody. Yes, indeed. Isabel, yes, thank you very much indeed for coming to my panel as well. It's nice to have finally met you. Did anyone get a chance to check out the playback room? I'd planned to, but didn't get a chance to make it out there. What was your thought?
I know somebody that did.
Okay.
I know somebody that did, and the only problem they had was when they were watching the whole H replay. By the time it reached Women That Kick Ass, it was heading to midnight.
Whoa!
So they were like, okay, for us to actually stay for the Marvel panel, it's going to be like 1, 2 o'clock by the time we actually get out of here.
Good Lord.
And we've got things to do tomorrow morning. I can't do it. So they had to leave. They were like, I need sleep.
So you think they could have done a little bit of judicious editing, perhaps, or?
But what do you want to edit out? Because it was literally, they came on stage,
They started
showed
talking.
it cut because they wouldn't show the actual footage, and then it went to the next panel.
Well, I meant the actual cutting out of panels. But then again, you can't do preferential treatment.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. So it's literally
Having sat through
got
it,
a
they
budget
probably
your
could have
time.
cut the Star Trek panel on the playback.
Well, there's thoughts about
I
that.
had
There
the
are,
same thought.
and this is from a
Same thought.
That's a Star Trek fan there. Star Trek fan saying that.
Yeah, the Star Trek panel was
I think
slightly hard
Brian
work.
Fuller should have been a guest, not
Rather
moderator.
than moderator, yeah, totally agree.
I genuinely believe that. I
Okay.
think there should have been somebody else moderating.
Brian Fuller was very much of a single idea that he wanted to put forward, and that he hoped that was going to be a strong enough narrative for a 45-minute panel, and it wasn't. So it's just. I mean, admittedly, it's a great idea. We need to. We are now at the tipping edge. We now need to be working towards Gene Roddenberry's ideal view of the future, and we have a long way to go. But you can only say that sentence so many times over the course of 45 minutes. Thank you very much indeed for your comment, Isabel. This is Chris Haggish, and I think this is more a comment towards Alyssa. I leave it to Alyssa to be in love with the sound of the Star Trek thing. So it's nice to know what your interests are on that one. This is from Chris Haggish. One nice thing Blizzard did this year is that they refused to sell exhibitors till 7 p.m. It's really nice to see booths taking good steps to make sure attendees get first crack at
There was a few
exclusives.
booths that were actually saying that professionals couldn't buy off their booth as well.
Yeah.
It was exhibitors and professionals. If you didn't have an attendee badge, you were not getting served on their panel.
On preview night, NECA was cash only, attendee badge only. You could not get anything.
Excellent.
They had seriously upped up their game on that because it was unbelievable.
So all we can really ask for.
And then
Okay.
Fox gave all the Blu-rays signed by Ryan Reynolds to exhibitors on the first day.
Yeah.
Let's not worry
Yeah,
about
yeah, they messed up on that.
Okay, fair enough.
They even
it.
said that they messed up on that.
So let's
Oh,
let's still talk about the positive then, because we just talked Hall H there, and as we get into the Sunday and pretty much looking back at the weekend, then your highlights, because I think we got to hear
the highlights,
then,
didn't you? And then you
kind of
guys
stopped.
talked about
So,
Nerd HQ.
Nerd HQ, and then we kind of like got a little bit of it. So yeah, okay, highlights.
Honestly, this was my 8th SDCC, and the first one that I did not go to a single panel, because every single panel that I had on my ABX list that I was interested in, we ended up getting tickets for a Nerd HQ panel that was either at the same time or overlapped enough that I couldn't
Or you
go.
couldn't get back in time.
So
I'm not complaining.
you know, we walked the exhibit hall, but I did not go to a single actual SDCC
Good Lord.
panel.
I'm curious.
And I
I'm actually
still feel
curious
like I
about
had a
the.
really good con.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about the attendee numbers for the panels this year. I'm curious to see what the actual seating numbers were, but
Although in all
because it was the
fairness-
amount, it is the embarrassment of riches, the amount of stuff that you
I
can do.
must
Yeah.
admit, I got to Friday afternoon and suddenly realised I hadn't gone to a single
Yeah,
panel.
yeah.
It's really
So-
odd, and yeah, it's surreal to suddenly think, what have I just done for 2 and a bit
Yeah.
days?
Yeah.
Where
Well, it
have
was
I been?
slightly
What have
surreal
I
for
been
myself
getting?
this morning when I realised that the only time I've been on the exhibition floor, literally the only time, was preview night. And you think, whoa, to miss out that kind of element of the concert.
So but the kind
Highlight.
of quasi offsite
Right.
was the Her Universe
Fashion
Couture fashion show. As far as I'm concerned, best event here. It was really
it is
spectacular.
so
I mean,
amazing.
well run, beautiful designs, went off relatively without a hitch. From the perspective of press, because we actually covered it,
Sure.
their press package was one of the best that I've ever gotten for anything. It was actually helpful and good and useful, and just fantastic. And nice
Wow.
people
It's
and-
well done.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of that, because it's all done from the perspective of Her Universe that are putting that together, and they've obviously got a nice little paycheck as well from Comic-Con HQ, which you will be able to see the whole show on their streaming service when they do get.
And vote for the third winner.
Indeed. Well, we'll come back to Comic-Con HQ as well, because that's something else we haven't touched on. So, excellent production and a great offsite. Anything else in terms of the actual convention that you saw that jumped out?
He shoots cosplayers for the slideshow for the paper we
with the
work
camera?
for in Houston. So I think it's fair to
Not
say
just
that
shoots
takes
them.
up a couple half days easily while he's here too. So he's a little more tied up, I
So,
think,
yeah,
than
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go around. Caroline, do we have to ask? No. Okay. Yes, we can. No, we can.
The thing.
No. This is the question. I would like your highlight, which doesn't involve Hall H.
That's easy. I love the randomness of con. It's the randomness of you never know what or who you're gonna see. And twice yesterday, I was walking back to the hotel. I was standing talking to a bunch of my mates. I saw Nathan Fillion on a sitting Segway. Just randomly, he came past me when I was walking up to the hotel. All I saw was the sitting Segway, and I just thought that's really cool. Started laughing because it looked stupid, but it was funny. And then I looked at his face and went, "Hi." As he went past me, that's literally all I could say was "Hi." And he just smiled at me and went past. And then when I was standing talking to a bunch of girls, I was like, the most random thing just happened to me. Nathan Fillion went past me on a sitting Segway. They're like, "Yeah, okay." And then all of a sudden, Nathan Fillion came down and went around us on the sitting Segway. I went, "See? There he is."
So-
Hi again. Nice to see you again.
So it's the random element
It's
of
the
Comic-Con.
random thing of you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to get. And I love that about con. That is my favorite thing every year. Every year there is one moment that just makes you go,
Did that really just happen?
yeah, what just, did that just happen? Or am I dreaming?
Okay.
On the random note, I tried to get into the Animaniacs live panel, which was impossible. But while we were in line for it, the cast came past, and I can't remember the individual's name, but the
Bob
guy.
Paulson.
Yes, is
Yeah.
he Yakko? Wacko, I can't
It's
remember. Yakko. He basically came past us, and people were saying hi, hi, and he did Yakko's voice and just went, "Sorry, folks, Yakko needs the bathroom," and just went. And that was fantastic.
Love it.
That almost made up for not getting in the panel.
Fair enough.
But yes, it's those things that I love.
Okay. Sam?
Number one for me was probably the Steven Universe panel.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now,
Friday
was that as
morning.
full as we kind of
It
assumed?
was packed. I got in line for it. It was quite a day for me because it was Friday morning, so I had that and then line up for Hall H immediately after. But I got in line for that around 6 a.m. And if you weren't there by 9 a.m., you weren't going to get in.
Wow.
It was
Yeah, that was one of those which everyone was just curious whether that was actually going to fill out Indigo, and yeah.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful.
Oh, you
Oh.
just tearing up a little bit.
It was really moving. I
Excellent.
cried the entire time. I don't
Wow.
cry easy, but Rebecca Sugar just gets me.
Excellent.
That's a fun.
No, you're not one for the emotionals. What was your highlight of your convention, or a couple of highlights? What jumped out at you?
Well, for me, because I always pick my kids, and so as long as my kids are happy, and my son and daughter both got to do the Deadpool signing and the Lucifer signing.
How old are these kids?
I was just thinking that.
My daughter is actually turning 18
Oh,
in a couple of days.
Phew, okay.
And is 28.
Phew, okay.
Yes.
If it would have taken 10, 15 years off those ages, then Deadpool would have been a very interesting choice. But cool.
Oh, I don't know, little Danny.
Yeah, fair enough.
How
Okay.
how is the ticket pull for their wristbands for those two signings?
It was super simple.
Good.
We actually had 4 of us because my son wanted Lucifer. He wanted Lucifer, and so his girlfriend, him, myself, my daughter, all 4 of us got winners.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Nice.
Great.
yeah, so it's like, okay, let's do 2 Deadpools and 2 Lucifers.
And this was on a Saturday, or oh, great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Excellent stuff.
they were extremely
Very happy. Excellent. John, if you could pick a highlight, please.
Out of many.
Out of
So
the very
hard
many.
to pick one. I guess it's still going to be the Hall H Saturday, but for me it was particularly the Marvel panel and the Guardians bit, which actually made me cry. I was howling like a child
little
during
baby Groot.
during the Guardians panel. Who now looks to be like a Funko Pop.
Yes, it was one of those moments where you just think.
Funko, if you don't do one of those, I'm coming after you with a stick.
But the thing is, they have done, and that's why they don't have to do any
No,
more.
they've
That's
done the
why
little baby Groot in the pot.
No,
they've done them all. Anyway,
The presentation, the content, James
gotta
Gunn's
be in the
enthusiasm, the electricity in the room was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just the other thing I noticed, I didn't see so many cosplayers out on the floor, but I did see.
yes.
I did see a lot of families cosplaying together, which was adorable.
Cool.
I did just really sweet.
Yeah,
Couples
okay.
and
I'll
families
put that
as
to everyone on this one because someone actually mentioned that when we were leaving the convention yesterday. Cosplayers, it doesn't seem as strong this year.
I didn't cosplay as much as I usually do.
Is it just the sheer effort of? Not so. Yeah. Well, there's also the
I didn't
temperature.
enjoy it. I
There is the
didn't enjoy it
temperature,
this year.
but also just sort of like getting from A to B because of the distance you have to put in. I'm just wondering if that kind of dissuades people.
There were a few things. I mean, that's literally what I am here to do. Part of my job as press is do a cosplay slideshow. There were fewer cosplayers overall.
Mm-hmm.
The spectacular costumes were fewer and farther in between.
Yes, the bigger costumes, the event costumes.
There were some,
definitely
The
lacking
Rancor.
this time,
but not as many. And I mean, I went to the Marvel meetups, the DC meetups. Each of them was probably half as large as it was last year.
Wow.
It's really peculiar.
Okay, that's noticeable.
I just want
and
to point out that the strain banner is going down behind
Yeah,
us.
oh, no,
It's down.
It's officially ending now. So there we go. The strain banner.
It's not over.
It's the strain. I will say that. Let me get back there. Just put that there.
Still up.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Conan O'Brien.
I will say this is if you've not actually done Comic-Con on Monday before. Let me just. We are running out of battery. I just want to keep that on there. If you've not actually done Comic-Con on the Monday before, if you do get the chance to stick around in San Diego beyond the Comic-Con week, do try and get down here for around this time, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when you don't even know that we've even been here.
Yeah.
They get rid of us so quickly.
It's very
It's partly depressing, slightly surreal.
It's Brigadoon.
It is Brigadoon. Okay, so we're coming up to an hour, so we'll wrap things up in about 5-10 minutes. But let's do this.
Leonard, I want to say one more thing about cosplay that threw some people for a loop. I understand from a security perspective why you would not announce this ahead of time, but they changed the weapons policy and they did not tell people.
Yeah.
Before, they would check out your weapons, you would get your tag on your weapon, you'd be fine. This year, all weapons had to be physically strapped to you.
Yeah.
And so if you were like, I know a gamer cosplayer, and her cosplay was Jinx, who has this big shark-shaped rocket launcher thing, and having it strapped to her waist, which was the requirement, pretty much destroys your ability to pose in the costume the way you wanted to. And I think that threw a lot of people off.
Yeah, it was bad for me because I was going to do a Kingdom Hearts cosplay. I had 2 keyblades, and I was like, I'm not going to bring them.
It's purely because
strap them to my body.
At the minute, with what's going on around the world, this is a in the UK we call them high-level targets. Over here, it's called a soft target, and this is one of the biggest soft targets you could possibly find.
Yeah.
So this is when I said the security were freaking phenomenal, because they had every kind of security out. Police were superb. They were checking everywhere. They were doing laps with dogs and everything.
So
it's going on.
It looks like the plug hasn't fitted. Oh no, anyway, there we go. I think they're back. We're in. I think yes, we are. We're sorted.
They
were phenomenal.
Okay, it's more of a police presence
what's-
within
yeah.
the con.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's why all the cosplayers had to have their weapons strapped to them, even though they checked them.
Okay.
There's things that they were just like, no, that's still making us nervous.
Sure.
We need to make sure that we're all safe. And that's what.
2 highlights then, so we didn't get around to you. So yes, 2 highlights, and then we will at the back there.
Mine was probably Friday afternoon. I did 6 DCS and did.
You're not hiding from me, sir.
We did American Gods, then Orphan Black, and Vikings.
How was the American Gods panel?
It was good. I
Good trailer, or?
Yeah, and it looked really good. Yeah.
Cool.
And mine was Friday as well, because it was my birthday.
No.
And so, happy birthday. So Comic-Con falls over my birthday, which is a great celebration.
Excellent.
Zachary Levi sang me happy birthday in his panel.
Fair enough.
Happy birthday. And then in the Vikings panel, I share a birthday with Clive Standen, who plays Rollo. And he threw me a T-shirt. And I got a happy birthday from him.
Nice.
Okay.
So,
Is it actually your birthday, or do you just maneuver it so it happens to fall?
My birthday when I come next.
Actually, my birthday, and then I ran into Clive at a party on Saturday
Excellent.
as well. So those would be mine.
So very nice highlights. Very nice highlights. Go on then.
So for me, the best experience was the Mr. Robot offsite. I mean, the technology seemed like it was created for that show.
Really?
It worked so seamlessly. And but for my kids, probably was Hall H on Saturday during the Fantastic Beasts when they gave out the wands.
That was a moment. That was definitely a moment.
Okay, did anybody else think of sharp, pointy sticks in Holly?
Yes. There's a bit of history there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a pen. It was a pen.
Well, I understand it was a pen, but this time it was about everybody.
Well, listen, if you told me that on Saturday, I would have thought to use it as a poking stick, and I would have been a lot closer for the Marvel camera. Sorry, coming through.
The queue up, I will say the queue up for the Mr. Robot, I stayed on 4th Avenue and 4th Street, and the queue for that was Mr. Robot offsite was horrendously long. I also heard the same thing about the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Game of Thrones. Yeah, they were all
I think Suicide Squad and Game of Thrones both had good swag, because there was an exclusive pop of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones did not have this.
Yeah.
No,
I got-
at the pop. No,
On
it wasn't worth it.
Sunday, I got in line for the Game of Thrones offsite at 9:45 a.m.
Big shit that's going
and I
on.
got into the doors at 1:15 p.m.
I feel like we're now on,
That's very rocky.
on board the Enterprise.
Yes, we are now. Yes,
Literally.
yes, yeah.
Under
No, I'm
attack.
I'm enjoying it. It's soothing me,
It's
soothing me,
soothing.
loving it. Yeah. Okay, very quickly then. Very quickly, let's cover Comic-Con HQ. Oh, sorry, yeah, Brandon.
He's
You are not-
he's trying his hardest.
He has been doing his best to hide.
If I'm on camera, you are, right, Darren?
I guess the highlight was the Friends of Comic-Con forum meeting.
This is why we weren't going to have him on. He's a suck up. But anyway,
Because I was able to share all my experiences with all my close friends from the forum.
excellent.
And one thing, I did see I did ride share an elevator with Stephen and Mel.
I hate you.
Fair
I hate
enough.
you so
Fair
much
enough.
right now.
Okay. Right. So very
I hate
quickly,
you.
let's do a
You
couple
know,
of
you
other
beat
things that we
something
missed.
last night as well.
I hate you for a lot of things. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
No, you're not. Anyway, you've had a couple of drinks. You're very happy. Yeah. Right. Whatever. Right. Fair enough. Very quickly then, let's just cover just a couple. Comic-Con HQ. Did anyone get a chance to go into that space? Anyone get a chance to look at it, or was it just me?
The off-site and I mean not the panel, but the off-site stuff just completely overwhelmed me this year. I didn't.
Amount of it.
I had the Adult Swim pass and I didn't go with that. I had screening passes that I didn't go with that. I bought tickets for podcasts. I couldn't go with them. Everything was overlapping. There was so much going on outside that convention center this year, and I don't know. This is the first time I've been back for 3 years, so maybe there's been a gradual build-up. But for me, that was overwhelming.
Did anyone actually?
Absolutely
I think this is a great question then. Let's just go through them all and who actually managed to get to them. So Conan.
Yes.
Okay. Connex.
That's what I wanted to. I didn't know what I
Okay. Sci-fi. The Sci-Fi Live.
I
You managed to get
went
to
but
Sci-Fi?
left because it was right out in the sun. And
I got tickets for Sci-Fi Live, but on the tickets they were saying they wanted you there from around 2:30 until 6, and that is a massive chunk of a day to give up at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Says the man who spent all day Saturday in Hall H. And queued up for it. But there we go. I think it is. I think that's where we are now. It's the embarrassment of riches, and it is just so much to see. Okay. In which case, it's very difficult to cover those items because at the end of the day, very few of us got the chance to go see them.
I mean,
Okay.
I did hear quite a few people say about the sci-fi stage that it just, you were in the sun for 2
Just
hours
at the top,
before they
yeah.
even started to
Sure.
record.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that was.
Yeah, where was it? I
So
don't-
the top of the
Oh, is that what was on there? Oh, I thought it was a party.
No,
okay.
yes, that's what that was.
I thought
Okay.
it was a party.
So let's start wrapping things up. I don't know if we are kind of getting the. You're just curious what was on. So I think we can all turn around and say that we've had some amazing experiences over the last 4 days, as per usual. But this year, could we say this is one of the absolute epic ones
Yeah.
for the time?
This is the best for me.
Can it be topped?
Yeah.
Comic-Con can always
There's
top
potential.
things.
You think I could say? I could then
This
again. I
year
could
was a weak year for me.
really.
I blinked and I've missed it. It was weird. It felt like I spent all my time walking and I'm not seeing enough.
Okay.
That was my thing this year, that I just didn't do enough. I didn't
Out of
make
everything.
I think,
But unfortunately, they haven't invented cloning yet, and teleportation is
Did you
still
not attend the Orphan Black Band?
Obviously not, no.
For God's sake.
excellent.
I think that's the thing. Like Comic-Con may or may not top this year, but your personal experience may top this year because it's all about what you do,
What
and
you get out of
fit
it,
in,
yeah.
what you
Yeah.
Personally,
that.
for me, I spent a lot of time with the comic book artists this year, and I've got some fantastic sketches. One of which by Amanda Connor, who draws Harley Quinn for DC, which I was taken to by a friend I didn't even want to do. If that's a quick sketch, then I'm never picking up a pencil ever again. That was an absolute work of art that they gave me. So.
Okay, so let's very quickly go through a number of the comments. This was Isabel. Hasbro Toys only allowed attendees check your day badge and ID to make sure the names. I think we've agreed that they really have done. All of the companies have gone out of their way, and I think that's due to CCI's insistence, but they really did go all out. Barb, there's always more space for toddler Groot toys.
Yes.
Of any type, so I think you're not the only one. I've seen cosplay. This is Barb again. I've seen cosplayers mention the heat as the reason they didn't do as much. So it was a very warm one this year.
Windy.
And windy
as well.
yeah.
Let's see. Did that as well. Michael Leventhal. Hi, Michael. Alyssa's single.
That's a way of saying it.
No, it's not that. But I know what he's going to say. Alyssa's single highlight: seeing me save the salmon. Apparently.
Yes.
So there you go. That's the line.
Save the salmon.
I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. So there we go. Okay. And I think.
An episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So I think we can wrap things up by absolutely saying that it was an incredible year. Will you be trying again for 2017?
Oh yeah.
Are you all coming back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In that case, we will do our best to continue our coverage of San Diego Comic-Con throughout the course of the next 12 months. Because yes, the dates are out there. Very quickly, Alyssa is remind me to mention that New York City Comic-Con tickets are now back out on sale. So if you are intending to attend that particular convention, do head on to New York Comic-Con or ReedPop and just get your tickets for that. What's that?
Oh, just that they're going on the 27th.
I'm just going to say, you say something.
Yeah, I did say something.
No, you wrote it and then told me to.
Well,
Alyssa does have a notebook that she's been writing down to say, Leonard, read that. Leonard, make sure you mention that.
But
Make sure you mention that.
But it's very difficult because that's the Comic-Con notes and this is her shopping list over here. So it's very difficult. Why on earth she wants me to mention?
She's his second wife.
Yes. Why on earth she wants me to mention avocados on the Hangout? I've no clue. So I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off. We're going to let's go through the diary because I'm taking this. This is my holiday now. I'm absolutely going to enjoy the next couple of weeks. I am going to be returning on the 14th of when I'm going to be back on the cup of tea. However, I know that Alyssa wants to do a separate one on her own. Which day you want to do that?
I was thinking next Sunday.
Have you seen this? This is a machine.
She won't even take a break.
She won't even take a break. So I think we maybe start. Do join us on Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, where it's going to be a minus Leonard show, which will probably mean it will be one of the highest viewed podcasts that we do. It's all going to be. Yes, it's straightforward.
Sorry, how many times did you get stopped to this con?
Yeah, 35 minutes, all done. So that's going to be Alyssa joining you from next week, and then we are going to be starting up the schedule. Do pay attention to An Englishman in San Diego and my Twitter, Englishman SDCC, for the updates of the future episodes. Where can we find you, Alyssa?
friendsofcc.com/forum.
Excellent. Does anyone have anything that they want to promote or anything that they want to mention?
Now it's time to plug it.
Now's the time to mention it.
Well, I guess
You can follow along in the hashtag TNSDCC to see what that's normal coverage was, and also brazenwoman.com. You'll see some articles coming up from me on the press rooms that I did.
Excellent stuff. Anyone else? Last call.
I can be found at Phaedra Cook on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. It's PHAEDRACOOK. And please check out my recap of the Her Universe fashion show on the Houston Press website.
Okay, and Alyssa wants to say something.
Instead of next Sunday, how about we make this August 7th? I'm going to take next week off.
That sounds like a plan. So, for myself and Alyssa.
You know what? If I just says I know Michael is there. Michael, thank you so much. You gave my daughter that drinking horn.
The drinking horn.
Yes, she was after that all weekend. You have made her calm. Thanks so much, Michael.
Hashtag not a euphemism. Thank you very much indeed for joining us for season 3. This has been an incredible San Diego Comic-Con 2016. And it's now all steam ahead for next year. We're going to be doing our coverage of NYC, all the Repop stuff, all the UK cons as well. Do stick with us. We are going to continue doing these on a Sunday. And hopefully you'll join us for season 4, which starts on August the 7th.
And on the following weekend, we will be visiting
Boston Con, indeed.
Boston Comic-Con.
Okay. From myself and Alyssa, and from I guess, and of course our fantastic hosts here on the Pegasus. Take care, and we'll see you soon. And stop broadcast.